So after 2 failed months of trying to make sales on my first dropshipping site, I'm going to stop putting effort into that project and move on to something new. So for those of you who are subscribed to my content or check into my weekly videos I release on a Thursday, you'll remember that I set up my first ever AliExpress dropshipping site, www.detoxwaterinfusers.com. I set that up about 8 weeks ago. And the whole goal of the site was to sell fruit infusing detox water bottles to a detox enthusiastic audience. So the site's been live for 8 weeks. I've averaged 300 visits to the site every month. I've ran 3 Facebook advertising campaigns, and in the 8 weeks, I've only sold 1 single bottle. I think it's fair to say, reflecting on those 8 weeks and the fact that I've only sold 1 product in that whole 8 weeks, it's fair to deem this project a failure. And I think it's the most smartest thing to do, the most efficient use of my time to cut my losses from this project, mark it as a failure, learn from those mistakes that I've made on this project and the lessons I've learned, and move on to the next project. So in those 8 weeks since my store, detoxwaterinfusers.com, has been live, I've explored different ways of how I can try and encourage sales through my site. So I made a video about 5 or 6 weeks ago after I'd done some research into what drives sales on an e-commerce store, and I listed out like 5 or 6 different things I was planning on doing to the store, changes to make to encourage sales and try and get off that 1 sale benchmark I was on at that point. So I tried everything in that video. I also got advice from people who watch my videos, so subscribers or people that came across them by chance. And over the last 8 weeks, I've been making tweaks and modifications to the site to try and encourage some sales. So some of the changes I've made from version 1 of detoxwaterinfusers.com till now is I've improved the site I've added a logo to the website. I added more products, so I started out with just 1 product. Now I've got 3 to make myself look like more of a legitimate online store. I added a store-wide sale to the website, so I slashed all the prices by 30%, and I also made it clear that there was free shipping as part of that deal as well. So I wanted to have a flash sale to try and encourage some impulse buys from visitors. I added a returns policy to the website where the customer could return the product as long as it was in perfect condition. They could return it within 30 days and get a full refund. And I also added a privacy policy to the site so that the customer knew that their data was safe. I added some visually interesting graphical sliders to the site to really try and showcase the products that I was selling. And I also went through to each product and added some even more detailed product information to try and minimize any questions the customer would have when they're on my site. So a couple of weeks ago, I made a 7-part video series where I ran through the mistakes I felt I'd made in this first dropshipping product. And the underlying theme you can get from all some of those videos is really poor product choice. So I made a video even before I'd made this dropshipping site, from doing research of dropshipping industry leaders, of reading their blogs, on what you should look for when you're picking your dropshipping niche. And I failed to take my own advice. I made a really detailed video of everything you should look for and consider when you're picking your products. And 2 really big things there was the right price point for the products and also considering scarcity of the products. So in my earlier video, I explained that if you're going to sell a product online, you should really be looking to sell a product that sells at between $50 to $200. Now I'm not going to drill down into why that is. You can go back and watch a previous video to see why that is, but I failed to take my own advice there. I picked a product that was selling online at between $14.99 and $18.99 if you look at the 3 bottles I've got on my site at the moment. So point 1, price, I ignored my own advice there, which was a big mistake. Second point, scarcity. The products that I'm selling, you can find it on so many other websites. You can find it on Amazon, eBay. You can even find it on the high street in your local shops. As I explained in one of my mistake videos a couple of weeks ago, I didn't do adequate research. I picked a product that I felt was trending and really exciting, but I didn't look at competitors and see the price my competitors were offering, and even just get an understanding of how easily accessible this product was through other merchants. And the answer to that was, it was very accessible. So I made that big mistake. I ignored my own advice. I think through excitement, I found a product that looked to be trending. It looked like it was going to work, and I wanted to have a dropshipping store online by a certain date, and I rushed into it without doing the market research. I ignored my advice, and that's a big lesson that I'm going to learn from and I won't do again. But really, it seems like the smart thing to do to move on, draw a line in the sand, and start another project. I mean, I paid for the URL for 12 months, so I'm going to leave the website online, but I'm just not going to do any active marketing or put any more effort into adding more products, changing the design. It's going to stay on the internet, living as it is. If I get orders, I'm going to fulfill them, but I think it's time to focus my efforts and ideas into new projects. So drawing a line in the sand from detoxwaterinfusers.com. If you remember last week, I read a book called Hustle Away Debt. It's a great book. I recommend that you all buy it. There's a link in the description below to buy that from Amazon. The book basically runs through a ton of side hustles that you can set up as a way of making money on the side outside of your 9 to 5. Now the book gave me a ton of ideas of new projects I can set up to try and make some additional income, some passive income. And there's 2 projects that I'm going to set up from the ashes of this failed dropshipping project. So first off, I'm going to try and make a merchandise store. So with this merchandise store, I'm going to explore selling products such as t-shirts, cups, iPhone cases, laptop covers. I've got a background in photography and graphic design, so with those pre-existing skills, I think I can really make a go except setting up this merchandise store, putting marketing into it with Facebook, Google, and the marketing channels that I've explored with my first projects, and trying to make something of that store. So that's the first side hustle, passive income channel that I'm going to try and pursue after reading Hustle Away Debt last week. The second side hustle that I'm going to try and pursue after reading Hustle Away Debt is I'm going to try and freelance my web development and my email development skills online. So before I fled my career lifestyle back in London and moved to Canada to do some traveling, I was a digital marketer and I specialised in email marketing. So I think I can use these skills, email development, email deployment and consultancy skills. I think I can use these skills online to try and make some money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a profile up on one or a few freelance websites such as, I know, Upwork, Fiverr, People Per Hour. I'm going to try and find the best sites for me, make a freelance profile and explore getting some freelance work online. Keep an eye out for my 2 new projects I'm going to be exploring, the merchandising store and the freelance profile. I'm going to be focused on that over the next few weeks, probably months, and you can see how well that goes. And I'll make sure to share any advice that I've got for you guys in my videos moving forwards. If you're not already subscribed and familiar with my channel Starting Up, I am a millennial trying to explore business ideas and also learn about personal finance in an attempt to redesign my life and try and achieve a modern type of success by taking advantage of these modern opportunities. I release a video every Thursday. This is my 22nd week doing it. I've learned a ton of lessons. If you go back and watch my videos, you can learn those lessons too. If that sounds interesting to you, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Look out for my video next week. All the best in whatever you're trying to do. And until then, I'll see you next Thursday.